72 years ago, four young men helped put Two Rivers on the map as the best barbershop quartet in the entire world.
And perhaps what's most amazing was their sudden rise to fame. Tonight in Small Towns, Jeff Alexander shows us how the Schmidt brothers will now be remembered forever in their hometown.
In Two Rivers Central Park, one of the largest family reunions you'll ever see.
To the members of the Schmidt family, and I know there are a lot of you gathered in Two Rivers today from near and far, welcome home. Welcome home.
And the reason they've all come.
You know, we're here today to celebrate four young men that shocked the world.
Those four young men,
just as long as we're together.
Joe, Jim, Fran, and Paul, grew up in a family of 17 children. While in school, they sang in the all-men's choir at St. Luke's Catholic Church. In the summer of 1949, they sang as a quartet at a local wedding. Word of their talent quickly spread, and more requests followed.
And they got the opportunity to sing for a Christmas party for a women's organization at the Hotel Manitowoc. And they didn't know it, but there was a man staying at the hotel at that point who was the president of the Society for the Preservation and Encouragement of Barbershop Singing in America, which is now called the Barbershop Harmony Society. But he heard them singing down the hall and ran down the hall because he could hear how good they were. And as soon as they were done, he invited them to join the local chapter, which is now the Clipper City Courtsmen. And that's how they learned to sing barbershop.
The brothers also learned there were competitions, which they then entered and breezed through at the local, district, and regional levels.
18 months later, they were on stage in Toledo. They were singing with 40 other quartets for the chance to become champion. And they brought home the trophy in 1951. First quartet to win in the first try, first all-brother quartet to win. And it was just magical.
And so was the welcome home, where thousands waited to hail their hometown heroes.
Coming back by train, so then when the train stopped in Sheboygan and these people were there, the train stopped because the Sheboygan people wanted to hear the quartet sing a song. And we thought, my gosh, Sheboygan, what's going to happen in Manitowoc? So we got to Manitowoc, and here were all these people wanting to hear them sing.
A car parade to Two Rivers concluded the frenzy that night. Within a month, the Schmidt brothers were in high demand, singing on The Ed Sullivan Show, followed by guest appearances on Arthur Godfrey and Lawrence Welk. They performed in top venues like Madison Square Garden and Carnegie Hall.
Joe was the high tenor, and he was the spokesman for the group. Jim was the lead, and you had Fran the bass and Paul the baritone.
Over the next 35 years, the Schmidt brothers recorded 10 albums, logged more than 2 million miles, and performed more than 3,000 shows. Big-time celebrities for sure, but they always remained humble, placing their faith and families first.
They bragged about their faith, they bragged about the fact that they had a lot of kids and, you know, and honored their wives all the time. And, you know, you take that plus this terrific music, I mean, that's a pretty good combination. I remember watching them on TV on Lawrence Welk and Ed Sullivan, and I don't think you kind of make the connection, and wow, these guys are kind of famous. And he'd come home and we would do stuff that fathers and families do. It was just, I don't know, it was really, I gotta be honest with you, it's been more lately that I've realized what a big deal these guys were.
In 1985, the Schmidt brothers sang their final song. That's the year Brother Joe passed away.
They had made a pact early on. We sing together, we don't sing at all. So there was no replacing Joe.
After Jim passed away in 2008 and all the brothers were gone, P.T. Rivers wrote a book on her famous great-uncles. Released in 2020, it inspired an idea within the extended family to have a memorial in Two Rivers to honor the Schmidt brothers. It just so happened the city was planning to renovate its Central Park to include a stage. Former Green Bay Mayor Jim Schmidt, son of the late Jim Schmidt, took the lead.
What better memorial could you possibly have for a singing group than a stage? And he told us the naming rights were going to be $100,000. Jim came back to me and I thought, well, it was a nice idea. He said, no, we can do this, we can do this. So they went to the extended family and came up with $122,000.
Which led to this, the official dedication of the Schmidt Brothers stage.
Keep America singing. Cut the ribbon. All right, it's official.
And
Johnny?
appropriately, the first performers. The entire Schmidt family.
In case you're wondering just what this day means to the Schmidt family, consider this. 335 descendants representing 17 states came to the stage dedication today. In Two Rivers with photojournalist Will Santowski, I'm Jeff Alexander for Small Towns.
Photojournalist